so exhausted of presenting and masking and being the CTO who looks after people, or the engineer, or the people pleaser, or whatever else I think I need to be to feel accepted or loved in the world. I would rather just be me and find a way to make that be sustainable. Hi, I'm Dimi. I'm an entrepreneur, engineer, and a poet. And I've just spent the last 8 years of my life building and scaling a hardware e-commerce business up to 15 million pounds in annual revenue, but I burnt out along the process. I'm now here on YouTube helping other founders and entrepreneurs build their business of their dreams without losing touch with themselves. So if that's interesting for you, subscribe and follow in the journey. I've had such an awesome week this week. I've spent it with Ali Abdaal and his super awesome superstar team and about 12 six-figure plus digital entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs in a digital space. They were physical entrepreneurs doing digital products in the digital space. They were real. We went to a 1K challenge meetup where other people were trying to make their first $1,000 online. Ali spent a really awesome keynote talking about all of the skills and strategies and things to do with getting off the ground with making money online, and also sharing and starting, building an audience. It's really funny because to him, it's like such an easy skills-based problem. Obviously, if you learn these skills, you'll get the things. And I can go on and on and on about all the skills that he taught, including how to find the right idea, how to get the right kind of sales mechanism going, and then also how to manage your time and energy so you can be productive to make it happen. I'm not going to talk about that because those things exist everywhere. What I am, and you can obviously check out his channel for that, what I am going to talk about is the thing that I feel was maybe under-focused on, and my perspective on why I haven't started these things, and maybe why some other people haven't. And that is safety and subconscious beliefs, specifically self-limiting beliefs. For me personally, I already know all the video editing skills. I already know how to talk to a camera, kind of. I have a perfectly capable system that is able to learn skills, but my emotional body, my emotional system doesn't believe that I can consistently share something online. I don't believe I can make money online. I don't believe I can be authentic and still be loved and supported and in my community and tribe. One really awesome piece of advice that Ali gave was, fuck your feelings, follow the plan. Once you have a plan in place, just go ahead and do the thing, even if it feels uncomfortable. I've spent a long time fucking my feelings, and I ran myself into the ground. I felt no feelings and I was tired, stressed, but I was expressing that. And then my body was like, stop, you are too tired and you need to shut down. And so I've swung the pendulum all the way into the other end, where I'm just going with the flow, feeling the feelings, and just trying to intuit my way through my life. And if something feels good, I do. If it doesn't, I don't. My workout plans right now are I swim until I feel it's time to stop. And also I go swimming when I feel like it. It's there's no structured triathlon plan like I used to have. And I feel good a lot of the time, and actually been the fittest and the best shape I've ever been because I've been working out more because I've been enjoying it. However, when it comes to doing something that is uncomfortable and new and different, I haven't been facing the blockers and challenging them head on because it's uncomfortable to change. It's uncomfortable to be something different to what your system is used to. There is comfort and safety in the familiar, even if it's not serving you. There is a level of discomfort that comes with changing who you are and exposing your system to the reality of this is who you are with small, thoughtful experiments, and showing yourself that it's safe to do this thing slowly rewires your system and allows you to feel safe in your new identity. As much as I love to feel my feelings now, to understand if I'm aligned or not and live from the heart, sometimes you actually do need to shut down what's going on because it's uncomfortable, and a healthy level of discomfort is also growth. So fuck your feelings, follow the plan. So coming back to the vision and mission table, me and a bunch of other people went to this table with this uncertain, unconfident expression of who we're trying to serve, what we're trying to do, what our vision and mission is for our life and business. There was definitely this energy of not enoughness and not self-compassion, because there was some unworthiness of what we have right now, and others have a clearer vision and mission that, drives them and fuels them forever. And Ollie, the facilitator of this table, had some really awesome pearls of wisdom, which number one was, what if you don't need a vision or mission to get you started? That's cut straight through all of that crap, because whatever is good enough right now is good enough right now. So whatever vision and mission I can muster right now, and being honest with myself, for that's all I got, and it may be self-oriented, it may be just about me or fulfilling, or it could be about personal growth. That's a perfectly worthy vision because it is true. It is exactly who I am and how I am right now. And allowing that to be true and just being accepting of that unlocks and dissipates the resistance of like, oh, I can actually proceed ahead exactly as I am, and that's okay. Secondly, you may have needs that are more important than a grand vision. Family, putting food on the table, actually just making money. And that's perfectly okay too. That is a legitimate thing to orient yourself around if that is true. Vision and mission can come later. The best way to find purpose for yourself is to be in service to others. Being in service to others is often a way to find a reason for what you're doing that's outside of your own egotistical kind of self needs. And the final thing that he asked was the rocking chair test. What will 80-year-old me regret doing or not doing? And what do I want to say? Whether that's actually living a path authentic to yourself, or following a sparkle of art or something else that is really like resonating, but you think isn't going to be enough to make a living. Don't live a life with a future of regret. And you can shortcut that by imagining what 80-year-old you would say to the decisions you're making right now. Your vision and mission for your business could be different to your vision and mission personally. I could have a personal vision and mission to have a fulfilling lifestyle that factors in friends, future family, and my well-being. But my business mission could be to serve students getting their first job. Reducing the pressure for one vision to have and carry your entire life's worth has really dissipated the need for this one thing to have everything encompassing me. I'm a multifaceted, interested in many things being, and I need multiple missions and visions to fulfill all parts of me. Okay, table 2. In the second section of this day, I grouped together with the Mastermind group that were talking about making your offer. What is your offer or value proposition to whatever client or customer base you're working on? Everyone came with some rough idea of what they thought that they were providing as value, and then we all left with a much more clearer, much more crystallized framing of what it is that we have to offer for the world and for the customers. Aman, the leader of this little section, is this super charismatic American sales genius who's wise beyond his years. He really lit a American salesperson fire up all of our butts. One of the key learnings I picked up was focus on the transformation, like the dream outcome that you are providing people, rather than the vehicle and means to which to get there. So an analogy that was used was airlines sell Ibiza or Mallorca as a holiday, as an experience, the transformation. You're going to be there and you're going to love it, rather than the Airbus 777 or whatever. They don't talk about the vehicle of getting there. Nobody gives a crap about the plane. Everyone cares about what this package experience will give them. As applying that specifically to the room and the types of people that were there, you're not selling coaching. You're not selling a group mentorship program. You're selling, I'm going to learn how to grow and build a 6-figure business. I'm going to become a YouTuber. I'm going to become confident. I'm going to reach my dream job. That's the transformation, going from I don't have this thing to I do. And the vehicle and means to get there is coaching or mentorship or whatever else it needs to be. But it doesn't matter. The vehicle doesn't matter. It's the transformation that people want to buy. So when I was tuning into my dream outcome for people I might be able to reach with my next career, my dream outcome was I'm going to find and support hardware founders like me who are wanting to scale to 7 figures without burning out or losing touch with themselves. For me, that's like a very personal vision and mission that I can stand by. I scaled a business, but I did burn out and lose touch with myself. And then I came back and figured out how to integrate all those things. I believe that I can help other entrepreneurs and founders like I am do the same. And I think that's a very, very specific transformation that I can offer people. It doesn't matter how I do it. It's likely going to be coaching, but it doesn't matter. It could also be consulting. A lot of people were asking, do you start with, a high volume, low cost, low ticket digital product that captures like thousands of people and gives them a little bit of support? Or do you do one-to-one coaching or like high ticket support? The general sense of the room was there's a bit of like an allergic reaction to doing high touch work, like one-to-one coaching and support. I have an aversion to calls and clients and sales as well. And a lot of people do. I know that, especially in the UK. But the wisdom that was passed on today was start with the high ticket, low volume option first, and then work your way down to low ticket, high volume. The reason for that is when you start with coaching and you maybe go from 1 client to 3 to 5 clients, you start gathering evidence and an understanding of what are the themes, what are the commonalities, what are unique to people, and what are the things that everyone struggles with. What are the ways in which other people struggle differently to how I do? And you tune into that, and you then are able to build a package of information that is a little bit more universal and is able to really hit hard because you're testing it directly with people. And so once you then get to a point of repeating yourself and you're saying the same things to the same style of people, then that can become a template and a document. And then what's next? A group coaching program where you're supporting groups doing similar things. You kind of bucket the same similarities between people, and then maybe you offer a bit of one-to-one support on any differences. And then once that becomes standardized, then you can package that into a do-it-yourself course, a bigger group, and then et cetera, et cetera. It can become easier and easier to create packages of work for people to follow. That also helps you build a program that is not a waste of time, because it's a lot of investment and time and energy to film, sculpt, and create a digital course. And for that to not resonate and hit first time, it's going to be costly because it's not going to create the value that you want for your clients. Where it relates to me a little bit is I am very happy to start right at the top, one-to-one coaching and support. I really like having that direct interaction. I've tried it a little bit already and it's quite fulfilling, having that direct, tangible relationship. And one above that is actually, I do it for you, like consulting. I help you with the transformation. I start this thing for you. I do a bit of the work. I feel like I'll be able to leverage some of my existing skill set for that kind of work too. So the final table, table 3, this is where I sat with Ali himself, and he supported us and the group around us with audience and growth and connection to your audience. I was a bit surprised by what we actually ended up doing, which was workshopping and helping with the intro to videos. The intro to videos is when you introduce yourself and say who you are, what you're doing, why this video matters and important, and why you should subscribe and follow. That ended up being a surprisingly emotionally taxing and challenging thing to do for everyone, including me, because you're pulling apart and pulling back together your representation of identity and then trying to authentically express it and sit with how you feel with it again and again and again. And it's just like, really like, does that feel good? Oh, no, it doesn't feel good. I feel shame. I can't really step into that. Oh, that doesn't resonate with me. It's actually really hard to do an intro. And I've now also noticed since then, I have been avoiding doing introductions. There's a blocker there about actually stepping into who I think I am. And stepping into the reality of what I'm trying to do here. And so owning that and speaking it to the world is a blocker that I've identified. So here's my intro that I think I'm going to start with. I'm going to try to read it here. It could do with some refining as always, but hey, I'm Dimmy. I'm an engineer, entrepreneur, and a poet. I've launched and grown a 6-figure business. Blech. See, it's hard. It's so hard. Okay. Hey, I'm Dimmy. I'm an engineer, entrepreneur, and a poet. In a previous life, I started and scaled a hardware e-commerce business up to £100 million in revenue, but then I burnt out. Now I support other founders and entrepreneurs just like me in scaling their business, but remaining in touch with themselves. That feels a bit better. Basically, I'm going to help you build shit, but stay okay. I hope. No, I know I will. I know I can. One other key insight that I had with someone else who's being workshopped in this section was you want to be excited by what you're saying, by who you are. You can have really good alignment and comfort in your introduction, but if it doesn't spark excitement, like this particular person had, it was like 50%, she said 50% excited, then why bother? Why bother being fully aligned with something you're half-assed with than being 100% aligned with something that scares you or like excites you? In this case, a very simple tweak to this is who I am, but this is also the other thing I'm doing, which is like I'm excited about in the intro, got this person up from 50% to 80 to 90% excited. And it's so interesting how this kind of intro workshop really shifts the perspective of self-identity and also excitement. And you know what? It can change. Every intro, every introduction, every time I do it, it's probably going to shift a little bit. But that's the nature of sharing and that's the nature of growing. My final reflection after the end of all of this stuff was I took a step back after being in the whirlwind of digital creation, course making, coaching, etc., and reflected, is this actually what I want? Is this the path I want? Am I actually aligned with this, or am I stepping into someone else's idea of success? Again, just like I did with the previous thing, just like I did with the thing before then. The tension that it really manifested in was I'm starting this YouTube channel or restarting it, and I want to authentically express things that I learn and do and create and just go put it out there. The real question is this YouTube channel a form of expression for me to authentically share and give things to the world and create and play and dance and make poetry? Or is this a marketing funnel for my online course? Or could it be both? And there's a tension there, because if I am the fractional founder, CTO whisperer dude who only posts about startup stuff and speaks to other entrepreneurs about hardware business and goes to China, that may do really well with the algorithm and get me really high ticket clients and pay my bills and sustain me. But what about the side of me that wants to just write a poem and give it out to the world with no money, and I just want to express and have creative freedom? And is that two different channels? Is that the same place? Is there a conflict? Does the algorithm get confused? I don't know the answer to all these things, but what it came down to was F the algorithm. I want to be an unoptimized, unscalable, unapologetic version of exactly who I am. And I'd rather be that than a partial, optimized marketing funnel of something that I'm not. That feels good. That is actually the thing that will keep me in the game for longer than being a version of me. I'm tired of being versions of me. I'm tired of wearing masks. I'm actually quite exhausted. So exhausted of presenting and masking and being the CTO who looks after people, or the engineer, or the people pleaser, or whatever else I think I need to be to feel accepted or loved in the world. I would rather just be me and find a way to make that be sustainable. And I have a feeling that both can happen. I have a feeling that there is a way both can merge into one. And I'm going to just hope that happens and be confident and proceed ahead as that. The other things that came up whilst doing this workshop was there was a lot of excitement, but also pressure and like, oh, I need to now build this thing and make this thing, get this started. And then I realized I was doing my old patterns of like getting super in my head over things and excited and fixated, but also rushing as if it's going to not be there if I don't do it quickly enough. Yeah, I've just become really good at squeezing the joy out of things, and I really don't want this to be another victim to my bear hug of death. One thing that I've been reflecting on as I've been reading or listening to The Pathless Path is the difference between aiming for achievement and aiming for alignment. I've definitely been spending a lifetime aiming for achievement, writing down my SMART goals, imagining myself in the future, being like, if I get to this point, I'm going to be happy and successful and all my dreams will come true. And then, of course, inevitably you get there and then you realize that was an empty hope. And then also you have another set of goals and dreams and achievements that you want to reach. And if you do that without alignment, then you're screwed because you're actually suffering throughout. I'm trying to find a way to be aligned on the path and allow the achievements or success to unfold in front of me. Yeah, it's been quite hard because it's been like, how do I listen not to this egoic narrative of who I want to be, and how do I listen instead to what does my heart or my soul want? It's all really fluffy and I'm all really new to it, and sometimes I think I know and then I realize my ego is just really smart and my mind is like, pretend heart. The less pressure there is and less rush, the easier it is for me to move at a pace that brings all parts of me along the journey.